In today's video, we are going to break down a case study of this channel that is currently making $100 million per month, and the shocking part is that they have only 6.7 million subscribers. So what is it about this channel that's bringing in so much money? And how can we take the lessons from them and apply it to our own channels? So if you're ready to go ahead and dive into the data with me and find out exactly what we can learn from this channel, then let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so before we get into the actual channel, we need to make sure that you understand how I'm actually getting all of this data, because there are tons of tools out there that you can use to actually do this research. But here's the problem. Most of them are either fake or completely inaccurate, and they don't even give you the correct numbers. And so the tool that I'm using is called Social Blade. Now, if you've never used it before, it is literally the one tool for YouTubers to be able to track their progress, but also for people like us who are trying to do research on certain channels and see what kind of numbers they're pulling in. And so the way you actually get to this page is by going to socialblade.com YouTube channel and then pasting in the URL for the channel that you want to look up. So once you get to this page, you'll notice that it gives you a bunch of different information. But the most important thing that we're looking at today is the earnings estimates. Now, these earnings estimates are actually really accurate. They say that it's within a 90% accuracy rate, which means that they're very close to the actual amount that these YouTubers are making. So now that we know that we can trust these numbers, let's actually get into the case study. Alright, so this is the channel that we're talking about today, and as you can see, they have only 6.7 million subscribers. Now, when I first saw this, I was like, okay, that makes sense why they're making a lot of money, because 6.7 million is a huge number. But then, as I started digging deeper and doing more research, I realized that no, that is not actually a big following. I mean, for example, Mr. Beast has over 13 million subscribers, and he does a similar type of content, and he is making hundreds of millions of views every single month. But this channel is making hundreds of millions of views every single month with a much smaller subscriber base. So what is it about this channel that's helping them get so many views? Well, let us go ahead and answer that question by first understanding what their actual topic is and how often they're actually posting. And so when you scroll down on this page, you will see that they are posting about twice per week on average. And then when you go ahead and click on the topic, you will see that it's primarily focused on gaming, which is already a huge win for any channel, because gaming is one of the most popular topics on YouTube. Now, this channel doesn't just post gaming content. They do post some entertainment and some music-related content, but the majority of their content is gaming-related, which is great because it allows them to tap into a very specific audience on YouTube, which leads to higher ad rates. And so now that we understand the topic and the frequency, let us go ahead and get into some of the key takeaways that we can take from this channel and apply it to our own channels. The first thing is to look at their best performing content and try to recreate it, because here's the thing. When you look at a channel that's making a ton of money, a lot of people make the mistake of just looking at the overall channel and trying to copy what they're redoing on a high level. But the truth is that may not actually work, because you do want to know if that is actually what is working for them on a high level. It could just be one or two videos that are doing really well and skewing all of the data. And so by looking at their best performing content, we can get an idea of what actually works for this channel and then applying it to our own channels. For example, if we look at their best performing video, you will see that they have over 40 million views on this video. And if we actually look at the video itself, you'll notice that it's a live stream and it's about Fortnite. Now, this channel primarily focuses on a game called Apex Legends, but every now and then they will switch it up and do something related to Fortnite. And so what I think happened in this situation is that there was a big event happening in Fortnite that caused a lot of people to search for it on YouTube. And so this channel jumped on that opportunity and did a live stream about it. And because they were live streaming it, that meant that they were going to get a lot of views immediately. And so by being able to capitalize on trends and then switching up your content every now and then to include those trends, you can increase your reach exponentially. And so what I would recommend for you is that you take the approach of looking at the top 10 videos for whatever niche that you're in, and then trying to replicate them as closely as possible. Now, the second takeaway that we can take from this channel is to make sure that we reposting consistently, because here's the thing. A lot of small channels tend to focus too much on trying to come up with the next big idea, the next viral idea, instead of just focusing on posting good content consistently. And so by focusing on posting good content consistently, what you're able to do is actually build a relationship with the YouTube algorithm. Because here's the thing. The YouTube algorithm is not out to get you, and it's not out to screw you over. All the YouTube algorithm really cares about is one thing, and that is keeping people on the platform for as long as possible. And so by giving the YouTube algorithm exactly what it wants, which is to keep people on the platform, you are going to be rewarded with more views, more subscribers, and ultimately more success. For example, if we look at this channel and we compare their oldest video to their newest video, you will see that they've actually improved quite a bit. And that is to be expected, because anybody who has been creating content for a long period of time should get better at creating content. And so by continuing to show YouTube that you are improving and that you are putting out good content consistently, YouTube is going to reward you by giving you more views. Another thing that we can learn from this channel is to make sure that we are taking advantage of every single opportunity, because here's the thing. When you look at a channel like this, it's easy to think that they got lucky because they have a small following and they're getting a ton of views. But the truth is that this channel didn't get lucky. They actually took advantage of an opportunity that most people would have overlooked. And so what I believe happened here is that they probably had some previous experience in the gaming industry, and they saw an opportunity to create a YouTube channel around Apex Legends because there were that many good channels creating content around Apex Legends. And so by jumping on that opportunity early on, they were able to grow a large audience really quickly. And so the lesson that I want you to take away from this is that you should always be on the lookout for opportunities, because opportunities don't always come in the form that you expect them to. In fact, sometimes opportunities are hidden in plain sight in most people, which just overlook them because they don't have the experience necessary to take advantage of that opportunity. The final thing that we can learn from this channel is to make sure that we are continuing to improve. Because here's the thing, just because UVA had success in the past doesn't mean that you guaranteed success in the future. You actually have to continue to improve and continue to put out good content in order to maintain the success that you currently having. For example, if we look at this channel's analytics, you will see that their views have been declining over the past few months. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, because they are still getting a ton of views. I mean, 10 million views per month is nothing to complain about. But for them, this is considered a slump because they're not getting as many views as they normally get. And so by being able to identify when your views start to decline, you are able to take action and correct course before things get bad. Now, it might seem like this channel isn't taking this seriously, because they have multiple videos with over 100 million views and yet they worried about a 10 million view slump. But here's the thing. If you want to continue to grow and continue to improve, you have to pay attention to every single detail, because every little detail adds up over time. And so by paying attention to the small details and then taking action on them, you were able to grow your channel faster and you were able to maintain the success that you're currently having. Alright, so those are the 4 key takeaways that we can take from this channel. And if you actually implement these into your own channel, I guarantee you'll start seeing results. Now, if you want to go ahead and take your channel to the next level, then make sure that you stay tuned for more videos. And just so you know, I am rooting for you and I hope you crush it.